out in the county. They saw the vehicle, began canvassing for the vehicle, and they actually located it. They also alerted MPD officers, and that's when the pursuit began.
And do you think that he may have left the kid in Prince George's and then came back?
Again, right now we're not sure where the child's at, and that's why we need anyone who has any information. Obviously, the child is not in the vehicle, so he is somewhere. Hopefully, he's somewhere safe, but we need the help of the community with that.
And then just as a father, can you just tell us how you feel about all of this? D.C., we're what, February 11th, and there have been relatively few homicides in D.C., and it's been a pretty busy day in the city.
This is one of the most tragic circumstances I've ever seen. I mean, an entire family is destroyed through the acts of an individual. Right now, we have a missing child. We have another child that's suffering from a gunshot wound. We have a mother who's dead. Her children will never have their mother again. They have a father who's deceased as well. So this is just tragic all the way around. But at this point, we really need to find that 3-year-old and just make sure that he's safe.
So the self-inflicted gunshot wound was fatal?
Yes, the suspect is deceased, and we do believe it's self-inflicted. So again, this is preliminary information. What the information is that we have is he is the father of one child. The suspect is the 2 other children. They were the children of our decedent, the female who was killed here, but that he is not their father. That's correct. He is the father of the 3-year-old. I don't have the information right now. I do know there were neighbors in the area who did call 911. The actual shooting occurred right in the doorway area of the apartment building and then led outside.
Are you searching the car for evidence? I'm sorry, did I interrupt?
We have kind of conflicting information. There's several addresses that he may or may not live at, so that's part of the investigation. Obviously, we'll follow up to see where he may live at and any evidence related to this.
Chief, have you combed the vehicle evidence? Is there anything that you see in there that would lead you to believe that at some point that 3-year-old Millian was in the pickup truck?
Yeah, so as I kind of mentioned, this is all unfolding within the past, 15, 20 minutes. A lot of this information is coming in. So there are detectives that are still on scene with officers at the crash site looking at the vehicle to see what kind of information, evidence we can get from there that may help us to locate 3-year-old Millian.
Did the suspect live here?
We don't know exactly where he lived at this time. As I said, it's one of the things. There are several addresses that he has kind of associated with, so that's part of the investigation.
The other 2 children, the one that got shot in the arm, and then the other was older, younger, female, male?
So the victim that was shot in the arm is a female, and then the other child that was there is a male.
And
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I can give you. Yeah. I believe the. We'll get into. I just don't want to misspeak on that. I'm sorry. On the female, I don't have her exact age. She's an adult.
Real quick, the suspect in this case, have you reached out to relatives? Obviously, right now the focus is finding this 3-year-old child.
Yes, no, that's correct. So those are the things that we're doing right now. As I mentioned, there's detectives not only here, the crash site, we're looking at former addresses, we're looking at family members or folks that may know him. So all those things are things that we're hunting down to see, may he be with a family member or relative. And that's why, again, we're asking for your help.
Jeter married to the woman he's accused of killing?
I don't know if they're married or not.
We'll take one more here, guys.
Hey, Chief, this has obviously been a pretty busy day, a hard day in D.C. I'm getting the news from our newsroom that there's a homicide call in the 1400 block of Rhode Island Avenue. Are you aware of that?
We'll give you an update on that.
That's
that was earlier this morning, so we'll get you an update from that this afternoon.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question? I know
Sure.
the time was small here. The time of the crash again?
I don't have the exact time of the crash. It was probably 45 minutes to an hour ago, but we can get you the exact time.
Chief, just one last question. Folks have neighbors lived here for 20 years. They really shocked that something like this happened in this neighborhood. It sounds like a domestic incident here. Can you just talk about this can happen in any neighborhood? It's not, necessarily a bad neighborhood.
No, I mean, domestic violence can happen anywhere, and as we know, many times in domestic violence cases, these things continue on. There's a cycle that goes along with them, and things that happen indoors, appearances on the outside, and what happens inside are completely different. It can happen really to anyone. So there may be people out there today that are experiencing domestic violence issues. So we have a ton of resources that are out there. DC Safe. So anyone who may be experiencing those types of issues, we ask you to reach out to us. We can connect you with other resources. There's a variety of services that are out there. But domestic violence is one of the crime types that we are starting to see an increase in. Some of that probably has to do with the recent weather and the ice that's put people inside their homes. But here in the wintertime, we have seen an increase in that. So anything we can do to push that message out about domestic violence awareness and things that we can do to help people if they are in that situation. Thank you, everybody.